Hello everyone! In this video, we'll talk about recording graduated measurements. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to take down recordings for these types of instruments. So let's begin. First, what is a graduated instrument? These are instruments with graduation marks, commonly called tick marks. You may be familiar with a few. Rulers, measuring cups, and fuel gauges all have graduation marks to help the reader interpret a measurement, such as lengths, volumes of liquids, or whether you can make that trip to Vegas without stopping. To read any graduated instrument, there are a few steps. Step 0 is just to check the units that the instrument is measuring. Every recorded measurement in science requires recording the number and the units. For example, when using a ruler, make sure to record what length unit you are using. In this example, we're using the centimeter scale. The next step is to interpret the tick mark's meaning. In the example you see, this ruler, with numbering indicating centimeters, is divided into 10 tick marks. That's 1 centimeter divided into 10 tick marks, or that each tick mark indicates 1/10 of a centimeter. As a decimal, that's 0.1 centimeters. When recording the measurement with our graduated instrument, we start recording based on the numbered ticks, followed by the individual ticks. Let's use the ruler and an object to demonstrate taking measurements. If we wanted to record the length of the yellow bar below, we first note that it reaches between the 5 centimeter and 6 centimeter marks. Then we use the smaller tick marks to count its tenths. We should get 5.7 centimeters using the tick marks. The last step is to estimate the final digit. This is because there is space between each tick mark, and so it is possible to estimate a fraction of a tick mark. Because this ruler's tick mark measures 0.1 centimeters, our estimate will be the next decimal place. In other words, we're estimating tenths of 0.1 centimeters, which is 0.01 centimeters. So we'll estimate the next digit over as a 3, giving us a final reading of 5.73 centimeters for this yellow bar's length. Let's focus on how to make estimates of the next decimal place. I like to think of doing this in 4 possible scenarios. In the first scenario, the measured object's edge is exactly on the line. This indicates a 0 as the estimated digit. Yes, you actually have to write the 0 as it's still considered a significant digit. If the measured object lands halfway between 2 tick marks, then the estimated digit is a 4, 5, or 6. For other estimations, you have to ask yourself whether the object's edge lands above halfway or below halfway, and by how much. Over halfway, then the estimated digit is a 7, 8, or 9. Under halfway, the estimated digit is a 1, 2, or 3. In summary, use the tick marks to measure the certain digits correctly, then estimate the next digit over using the guiding ideas. Is the measurement on the line, exactly between the lines, above halfway, or below halfway? One of the most important graduated instruments is the graduated cylinder, which is used to measure the volume of liquids. Reading volumes using these has unique considerations because liquid surfaces are not completely flat, but rather they have a curvature called a meniscus. So what do we do about this? We always measure at the bottom of the meniscus. Take the example below. Pause the video and use the rules for measuring to determine the milliliter measurement for this liquid. The volume of this liquid is 16.2 milliliters. If this was challenging, feel free to ask me about recording measurements with these instruments. When recording measurements with a graduated cylinder, here are a few tips to help you avoid errors. Tip 1, always read the meniscus from eye level. Reading at an angle introduces error. If you have to crouch for a moment, then do so. Tip 2, make sure there are no bubbles in the cylinder. Bubbles take up space and lead to errors. Give the cylinder a gentle tap to dislodge bubbles. Tip 3, use an index card as a background for contrast. The card lines can be useful to read the meniscus too. In summary, graduated instruments have graduation marks, also called tick marks. Estimation of the last significant digit is a part of the recording process. When measuring volumes using graduated cylinders, volume measurements are recorded from the tip of the meniscus. Keep these considerations in mind when you encounter different instruments in scientific labs. All right, thank you very much.